Day 1, I'm Edward Sharp and I'll be running you through the games. Starting on Tuesday's matches, we've got Dynamo Zagreb taking on Chelsea. Chelsea haven't been in the best form in recent weeks, and Dynamo Zagreb aren't a team to be messed with, knocking out some decent sides in the Europa League, namely Tottenham a few years ago, and Chelsea though should be able to get through this one. The other Group E game, Salzburg take on Milan, and Milan of course looking good. League champions last year, made a few good signings in the summer, although they did have a few injuries to deal with, but they should be able to get past Salzburg without too much issues. Group F, a game I'm really looking forward to, Celtic against Real Madrid. I'd imagine that this is a game which Real Madrid will be hoping to win, but it's never easy to go and play in Celtic. And it could be a closer game than we first thought. Group F, again, we got Leipzig taking on Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar Donetsk coming from Ukraine. Of course, this will be a fun game to watch. Leipzig have Timo Werner from Chelsea again, and could be one to keep an eye on. Group G now though. Borussia Dortmund have Copenhagen. Copenhagen, a team I do quite like, but Dortmund, of course, a team which is never to be messed with. Made a few good summer transfers, and they have looked good in the Bundesliga, and they could be looking for a late title charges. Bayern Munich have dropped a few points in recent times. The other Group G game, Seville, Man City. Now, of course, Man City, this is the one that they want, the Champions League. Pep Guardiola, that's what he's really been brought in for. That's what they're spending the money for. And I imagine this will be a simple enough game for Manchester City to win. Then the Group H games. Benfica taking on Maccabi Haifa, the Israeli side. Not often in the Champions League. Benfica, they're normally in the Champions League as well. They've got some good players there, and I reckon this will be an easy enough win for Benfica. But now the game of Tuesday, PSG Juventus, we're actually covering this one, and of course PSG targeting the Champions League just like Manchester City. They have the fantastic front three, Neymar, Mbappe and Messi, who've been on fantastic form so far this season. And Juventus, of course, not quite hitting the heights they've previously been hitting in the last 10 years or so, although they're never a team to be messed with, a formidable force, and it should be a really good game. Please tune in with AI Football. We're getting that one underway, 8 o'clock kickoff. Then on to Wednesday's games. Ajax taking on Rangers. Rangers making a rare appearance in the Champions League. Ajax, of course, a stalwart in this competition, and that should be a good game to watch. It's always entertaining to watch Scottish teams. That's in Group A. And then the other Group A game, Napoli take on Liverpool. That should be really interesting watch. We've seen Napoli give Liverpool a good game in the Champions League before, and I'm sure Liverpool were hoping this is a game they can win. Group B, we have Atletico Madrid taking on Porto. This should be a fairly easy Atletico win, although Porto, again, a Portuguese side, they're not to be messed with. And the other Group B, I mean, Club Brugge taking on Leverkusen. Club Brugge actually making some pretty good signings. Leverkusen losing a couple of players, so it could be quite a close game. Group C, we have Barcelona taking on Pleasen, and this will be a game Barcelona will hope to win quite easily. Not much to be said about that one. Then the other Group C games, probably the game you'll be watching on Wednesday night, Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich. Inter, of course, looked good, won the league a couple of seasons ago, but Bayern Munich, of course, big giants in Germany, have drawn a few games they would have won in the recent weeks, so it could be quite a close game. I'll be looking forward to seeing the highlights of that one, because I'm at this game, Group D, Tottenham Hotspur against Marseille. This should be a game Tottenham are going to win, of course, back in the Champions League for the first time in a few years. But Marseille finished second in the league last season, so it could be quite a close game. Of course, Antonio Conte, we hope in his Tottenham side, will be able to get a good result in this game and not try to expend as much energy as possible, because they do have Manchester City at the weekend. The other Group D game is Frankfurt taking on Sporting. Of course, links that Ronaldo was going to be joining Sporting, but nothing came to fruition. And it should be a game which Sporting will hope they can win, even though they're away from home. But Frankfurt, of course, the Europa League champions, will definitely be in with a shot. Thank you for listening just to our weekly roundup of the Champions League games.